مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
Hello dear students, it's me Mr Osama introducing the first lesson in Unit 4. Pack your bags. And as usual, the first lesson of any unit is reading. And because reading is very important and it has so many question types, this lesson will be divided into two parts. Today, inshallah, we're going to deal with part 1. All the topics, as you know, will be related to the title. Pack your bags. Let's start our lesson for today. Today's lesson will be on your student books page 58 and 53 and in your workbooks page 41. As usual, our objectives will be as follows. At the end of the period, students should be able to, number 1, skim and scan 4 texts to identify their types, audience, and purposes. 2. Skim and scan 4 texts for details and main ideas. And finally, number 3, choose the correct words from given lists. Let's start our lesson. Open your student books page 52 and 53. Today we're going to do 3 exercises, A, B, and C. Exercise A. Here is the question. Discuss. Question 1. Where do you usually go on holiday? Why? Question 2. Have you ever traveled abroad? Where to? 3. In your opinion, what makes a holiday enjoyable? Take some time to think about these questions and come to check your answers. Here are some examples or some model answers for question number 1, which was, where do you usually go on holiday and why? An answer could be as follows. In the summer, I usually go to a place by the beach because I enjoy swimming. I usually choose to travel abroad in the spring to see my new places. For question number 2, which was, have you ever traveled abroad? Where to? An answer could be, yes, I have. I have visited a number of European countries such as the UK, Spain, France, etc. The last question. In your opinion, what makes a holiday enjoyable? Again, an answer could be as follows. The people you are with and the mood you are in. Of course, your answers could differ a lot from my answer or from the given examples. It's worth mentioning that there are no fixed answers for these questions. They differ from a person to another. Now let's move to exercise B, which I think is very interesting and very important in the exams as well. Exercise B. Quickly read through the texts A to D. Who are each of the texts aimed at, and what sort of information do they have? In other words, you are kindly requested to read the texts to identify the audience. By audience, I mean the people who would be interested in such a text. Also, from each text, you need to get out or to take out the sort of information they have. Here, we have 2 texts, A and B. Have a look at text A. Text A is an itinerary. What do you know about this word, itinerary? Itinerary means a detailed plan of a journey. For example, if you're traveling abroad, you should have an itinerary. I mean a plan that arranges your activities. But what about text B? Have a look at it. Yes, what kind of text is it? True, yes, it could be an advertisement or a flyer, right? Now pause the video and for each text write who is the audience and what kind of information is included. Go on, pause the video and then continue playing it to check your answers. Here are the answers. Text A is a formal letter to Miss Binat. It aimed at informing Miss Binat about the itinerary for her trip to Italy. So, Miss Binat is going to have a trip in Italy, and that's her activity schedule. What about text B? Yes, true. Text B is an advertisement or a flyer. It's aimed at informing anyone who may be interested in booking a holiday package in Italy. Now let's move to text C and D. For this part of the exercise, I ask you to pause the video and read the two texts here and answer the questions. You need to do the following. 1. Identify the text type. 2. What information is included? And 3. Who are the audience? Now pause the video and answer the questions, and after that play it back to check your answers. Here are the answers. Text C could be a magazine article aimed at anyone who may be interested in learning some interesting facts about Venice. Alright? I think it's very clear. But what about text D? Yes, true. Text D is an email, an informal email from a friend to another. It's aimed at providing Kelly is the audience here. It's aimed at providing Kelly with some information about Zoe's holiday in Italy. Now let's move to exercise C. In exercise C, we're gonna read each text one by one to answer questions. We have to read the text carefully, skimming and scanning to get the answers. Here are some tips for you. There are questions that assess understanding of each text individually. So, after you read each text, answer the questions that refer to it before you continue with the next text. The last question assesses overall understanding and may refer to 2 or more texts. Let's start with question 1, which refers to section A. Before reading the text or the question, you have to get evidence for your choice. Let's read question 1. Why does Neil Rollins mention the Tuscan Sun Festival? To suggest that buses and trains might be late? To explain why hotel rooms will be harder to find? To suggest that Miss Bennett pay the festival a brief visit? To explain why missing a bus or train might be a problem? Here we need to look for the key word, which is Tuscan Sun Festival. Yes, it's here, under the title June the 12th. Read it. Please be aware that the Tuscan Sun Festival starts on June the 10th. As a result, please ensure you arrive in time for all the transport lanes. In the event that you actually miss your bus or train, it will be difficult to find new tickets. So the answer is yes, D. Let's summarize together what we do to answer such a question. First of all, read the question and identify the key word. After that, move to the text and define this key word. read around it and check the options. And finally, take your decision and choose the correct option. Let's move to questions 2 and 3, which refer to section B or text B. Pause the video, read the questions and identify the keywords. After that, find them in the text and read carefully to choose the correct answers. Then come back to check your answers. Go on. Here are the answers for questions 2 and 3. Question 2. What does diverse delights in the highlighted section refer to? Yes, A. The many varied sights. What about question 3? What's not included in the package deal? Yes, true. The answer is A. Private tours. Your answers are brilliant, dear students. Let's move to questions 4 and 5, which refer to section C or text C. Again, pause the video and do the exercise yourself, and after that, play the video to check your answers. Please follow the steps I told you about to answer these questions. Go on. Here are the answers. Question 4. What does the writer mention about rising sea levels? Yes, D. Remember, you should have evidence for your answer, right? Okay. Question 5. What does the writer imply about high tides? Yes, true. C. The problem they cause is increased during bad weather. So good. Now let's move to questions 6 and 7, which refer to section D or text D. Pause the video, do the exercise, and come to check your answers. Here are the answers for questions 6 and 7. Question 6. What's true about Kelly? Yes, C. She has been to Venice before. Question 7. What does Zoe say about Murano Glassworks? Yes, B. She found out about them by accident, by chance. Here comes the last question, question 8. Actually, it's very important and needs concentration because it relates to the 4 sections, the 4 texts. The question is as follows. What does Zoe plan to experience in Venice? Here you have the 4 texts. Give yourself some time to answer the question and play the video again to check your answer. The answer is yes, A. You have done so greatly so far. And now it's time for homework. Open your workbooks, page 41, exercise A. Exercise A will be your homework. Here, you have an informal email from someone called Ned to his friend Eric. And we have 8 spaces and 8 sets of answers to fill in the spaces. For each space, you have to choose the correct answer. Good luck. Thank you very much for your attention. See you.